My last lecture, I got so close to finishing this section, but I definitely need to talk about this little bit that I didn't get to last time. So very quickly here, let's talk about after the fall of Rome, the so-called Dark Ages, because we tend to look at things very sort of Eurocentric and ignore sometimes what was happening in the rest of the world, because it was the Dark Ages in Europe and we didn't have those scientific advances there, but we did elsewhere in the world. And one place in particular I want to mention is in the Middle East, because that's where things were happening in science and mathematics during the Dark Ages in Europe. Two things in particular here that I want to mention that were huge in astronomy. Number one, just preserving the ancient knowledge, just hanging on to the scrolls and texts and so forth from ancient times. We wouldn't know about probably these people like Aristarchus and Ptolemy and so forth if it weren't for the scholars of those times. That's amazing. As a matter of fact, a lot of things were renamed. And so a lot of the names in astronomy are Arabic. I remember the first time I was programming a telescope, and it was very strange for me because I was scrolling through some star names and I kept seeing AL. All of these stars started with AL, and I thought, what is going on? This is really strange. And anyway, in Arabic, AL is just the. So all of these things are named in astronomy. So Altair and Aldebaran and all these stars. Of course, it's also in other language. For example, at that time, they had advances in trigonometry and algebra, another Arabic word. So the nomenclature of the time as well. So they preserved the ancient knowledge and they kind of added they added to it, and then they kind of gave things their own name. For example, Ptolemy's great book, he actually called it Syntaxis. That's what he named it in Latin. But it was renamed in Arabic, or just Almagest, which translates as the great book, Almagest. So that was Ptolemy's book, but anyway, so that was something I didn't quite get to last time. I just wanted to mention that, and then next time we'll get up to some really exciting stuff when we get to finally the Renaissance astronomy and a real revolution in astronomy. Thanks for listening.